Hey, it's day 161 of Hey, what are you doing today? Um, it was funny. I was walking out here and I was thinking, I started this wearing this flimsy little jacket. It was actually a free giveaway from a magazine, but I made it my own and stuck the Le Mans badging on it, the Le Mans Racing Division. Anyway, when I was walking out here, I was thinking, you remember when you started this 161 days ago? I actually wore this jacket because I was so uncomfortable with how I looked without the jacket on because of my weight. I mean, I was flirting with 240 pounds, and now I'm flirting with 190 pounds, and just a whole different feeling. Now it's I actually need to get new clothes. Now my pants are too big, my shirts are too big, and I look kind of silly wearing the clothes that I wore before. But anyway, it was kind of a good thought, that came to me. But what I was really thinking about was well, two things. One, I mentioned it before, is how nice it is to have this strict regimen, so that when I do have a day like I had on Sunday, where me and the Luna drove back to my hometown to catch the home opener football game. It was just, I worked all night, left on Saturday about 5 o'clock, got in on Sunday about 2 in the morning, went to sleep, woke up, went to the game, and then drove back home. But I let myself have the freedom to enjoy some of the food that you might find at a stadium. I got me a Cincinnati style bratwurst, something that you don't see in too many places. A white sausage that's quite good. It comes from Germany, of course. A lot of Germans in Cincinnati. And have me some nachos, because you got to have nachos at any kind of sporting event. Although the nachos weren't as good as I remember them being. But anyway, stopping at gas stations, you can eat gas station snacks, that kind of stuff. So I let myself have that day. But Monday I got right back into it. Yesterday being Monday, I was a little bit dragging from lack of sleep, that kind of thing. But was able to get right back into it. And today, I'm 100% back on board and going down that road. And I was thinking today, it's the things that I'm doing. I've got the physical workout, the physical diet, but the mental workout and the mental diet. Things that I wouldn't normally be doing had I not started this. And I can almost sense my brain functioning with a little more clarity. And sorry, I keep hearing this noise. I don't know what it is, but it's like I can feel my brain functioning a little bit better. Every day I have to read 5 pages. That's one of my things. Some days I read more than that. I wouldn't say considerably more than that on any given day. My time, I'm trying to make the most out of my time. I'm constantly being active and constantly trying to seek out information and go over old information that I've already learned and try to incorporate and try to really make it a part of my psyche and my mentality and things. But every day I have to physically, take in 5 pages of a book of some kind, not to mention anything else that I might be reading along the way, but just stop and read 5 pages of a book, at least 5 pages. And I might not have done that. I go years sometimes without picking up a book. Other times I'll get into it and I'll read a book in a day. But it's just one of those things. I got to keep my mind going. I also started exploring some of the new. I don't know how new they are, but they're new to me, and I just recently started seeing them. Some of the brain training apps that are on the smartphones, and I'm trying to mix that up as much as possible, and it really does. I mean, I can't say with any surety that it makes me think clearer, or makes me respond quicker, or increases my vocabulary, or whatever the case might be. But I think just the element of keeping the brain active, and it makes sense. I mean, it's just like the body. If you don't use it, it turns to mush. If you don't use certain elements of your brain, it turns to mush. So there's an active brain workout going on every day. I am seeking information. I am reading. I am studying different things. I am incorporating these little games into, just making my brain fire, and there does seem to be some kind of sense of value coming from that. As I'm getting physically fit, I am getting mentally fit, and as I'm getting mentally fit, some of the information that I'm taking in is spiritual, so I'm getting spiritually fit, and as that I'm taking that spiritual information, some of that information is social, so I'm getting socially fit. And one of the interesting things is it's being doled out, almost just in a perfect line. And I don't know, there's no real reason for that. But as I come across something new, it opens up new thoughts, and then that information is immediately provided, not immediately provided, but it's provided, and it seems very systematic in the way that it's been going on. Just here recently, I've been battling with myself, feeling like I don't have much control over my emotions or my reactions or my frustrations or my anger, and just feeling a real weakness in me that was a difficult thing to discover, and it's been an even more difficult thing to try to overcome and try to change. How I respond to different situations. And all of a sudden today, it came to me this thing called emotional intelligence, what I'd never thought about, never heard, never even considered. And how advanced are we? Am I as a person emotionally? How advanced am I? They have different measurements of intelligence, and something that you can kind of see. But do you really? I've never really stopped to compare myself emotionally to somebody. How do I handle my emotions? How do I? Am I in control? How emotionally intelligent am I? And it's just interesting to hear that term. So that's kind of the tangent that it's taken me down here today. And then I've still got to do my business study. And I thought about this. I thought, if I really want to do this business, why don't I do it in a faux way? And what I mean by that is give myself a month, give myself a timeline, say, put myself under that pressure, as if I really had to open the business in a month. What would I do? And I say that because I know that, I sense that sorry, there's a grasshopper crawling on the windshield here, so bugs are interesting. They're like little aliens. Imagine if a bug was as big as a dog. What an amazing creature. We overlook bugs sometimes, I think, but what amazing creatures they are. But they're so small sometimes that we don't really pay attention to them. Just a wild random thought. But anyway, what if I did that where I had only a month to do the business? And the reason I say that is because I know that I think the right time to get the business off the ground, and I'm sure people's, there's never a right time, just do it kind of thing. I've heard that already, but realistically, I'm going into winter, and the business that I'm thinking about has to do with being outside, and just not the prime time, and so I'm gonna invest some time in it and get everything going in the timeline. Spring, this will be coming to an end, and spring, hopefully I'll be I'll have grown enough that I can be stable enough and comfortable enough that I can do it correctly. And this isn't the end all be all business. It's just something to get me on that track, to become self-employed, and then to become a business owner, and then to become an investor. I heard that breakdown the other day, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Being self-employed, you probably work harder, you're probably tied more to your job, and you don't really have any freedom. You're just a job you own is all. But when you're a business owner, it means you can turn that business over to other people, let other people run it, and you just take the income from it. So that's the next step. The first step is becoming self-employed. The second step is then becoming an actual business owner, and then the third step is just becoming an investor. So that's a path that was kind of illuminated to me the other day. As simple as that sounds, sometimes it's nice to hear simple things like that, and to see those steps and to see that path. But anyway, back to the original thought I was alluding to, and that's give myself 30 days to create that kind of crunch, and see what develops within that 30 days. So so I think I'm going to start that at the beginning of next month, October. Just create that faux mentality that I've got to have the business up and going by November, and that will force me to go into, you know, the different offices, fill out the different forms, find out the information that I need, see what kind of obstacles come up, and just totally start taking myself down that route, and get all that stuff out of the way, learn from it, and then hopefully start that motor going, so that as I get through the winter, I can start really, instead of talking about it, I actually have some concrete structure built. You know, actually have some legwork done, and be ready to go. So, um, but that's what I want to talk about today. I guess just feeling like my brain is becoming more alive because of some of the practice. I haven't really mentioned too much of the the mental workout, the mental aspects of things, but those simple elements, you know, having to read every day, having to read something, you know, and right now I'm reading a book called Endurance on Ernest Shackleton. I'm also reading the a novel on Sam Walton, his Walmart information, and looking at well, I haven't really been looking at it, but I'm going to start looking back at it. As a book I started before this project and kind of put down, and that's a biography on Mario Andretti that was actually written in the 70s. It's an old book, but very interesting. So, you know, among other things, I'm also, you know, taking in different business things that I'm reading, but those are actually the novels, the books that I'm looking at right now. But I guess that's it. Just keep moving forward, you know. So October 1st, I really start investigating the business. You know, I'm gonna start slowly with what I'm doing now. Every day, trying to find some kind of piece of information and learn from it, and then bust out in October as if I only have a month to do it, and see where that takes me. And just keeping focused. So that's day 161. Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.